Hey, Jack, get it from Mike.
Good evening. I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Bolingbrook Village Board to order. And then lead us to the pledge. I'd like to ask newly elected, trustee-elect, I should say, Mary Basta to come up and lead us to the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Claire.
Here.
Trustee Zarate.
Here.
Trustee Lawler.
Here.
Trustee Watts.
Here.
Trustee Hoagland.
Here.
Trustee Morales. Trustee Jessup.
Here. We have a quorum. Next, I have the approval of minutes of the regular meeting of April 9th. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Watts. Questions, comments, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Mr. Bowen, the agenda.
Yes, I have one correction. Page 2, B, tax receipts. The word December in number 1 should really be January. It's a typographical error. I have no other additions or correction.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So move. Second.
Who made the motion?
Zarate.
Trustee Zarate made the motion. Second was trustee Jesuits. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The minutes approved, or the agenda is approved. Next, I have approval of appointments. There are none this evening. My report of one proclamation and one brief announcement. May 14th, our first regular meeting in May will be our swearing in of the new trustees, one incumbent and two newly elected trustees, Sheldon Watts, Michael Carbonzano, and Mary Bassa will be sworn in on the 14th. During that meeting and following that meeting, there will be a bit of a party afterwards, so if you'd like to come, you're more than welcome. The place and time will be, well, the time will be after the meeting. The place will be announced later. We have one proclamation this evening. It's a proclamation to the National Association of Letter Carriers. Whereas the local village and rural carriers of the Bolingbrook Post Office have joined together in a National Association of Letter Carriers in the 24th Annual Food Drive, Saturday, May 11th, 2019. Last year, over 20,000 pounds of food were collected, and whereas the letter carriers are asking Bolingbrook residents to donate non-perishable food on Saturday, May 11th, the letter carriers will pick up any donations left in or near the mailboxes. Customers may bring their donations directly to the post office located at 105 Canterbury, just right next to this building. The donation will be delivered to the DuPage Township Food Pantry. The DuPage Township Food Pantry last year assisted over 1,000 families per month. Now, therefore, I righteously declare, Mayor of the Board of Trustees, Village of Bolingbrook, Willing DuPage County, Illinois, to hereby proclaim May 11, 2019 this National Association of Letter Carriers Food Drive in Bolingbrook, and urge all of our residents to support this worthy event. We do not have an acceptor here this evening for this proclamation, but the food drive does go on, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention one individual who passed away March of this year, and that's Nancy Barron, who worked for the post office here in Bolingbrook going back to 1973. Nancy was a coordinator of the food drive for years and years and years, and every time you saw her, you knew what she was thinking, and that's how much more food she could raise to donate to the DuPage Township Food Pantry. And it's continuing, but we certainly miss her. She lost her husband a year earlier, and then she passed away the next year. So it's very unfortunate to lose a great resident such as Nancy Barron. Next, we have a public hearing regarding the Bolingbrook fiscal year 2019-20 proposed budget for all funds. There's a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustees Zarate. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jessup.
Yes.
The village is required to conduct a public hearing prior to the adoption of the 2019-20 fiscal budget. The budget workshop was held April 27th, this past Saturday, to go over the budget in detail. The proposed general corporate budget is $80,475,261 and is balanced with expenses. The budget is 0.7% increase over this last year's budget. The village overall budget includes all funds and interfund transfers is $152,386,017. The village property tax rate is expected to be 0.9382, and the average home will pay $637.85 to the village for village services, police, fire, and public works. Bolingbrook home values have rebounded from the recession and average is back over $200,000. In fact, they're estimated to be $206,673. As an aside, there was an article in Crane Chicago Business this past week. Bolingbrook was one of 11 communities as the hot home markets with home values increasing. Homes sitting on the market was one of the shorter amounts of time. You put your home up, you sell it quickly. That's been confirmed by some local realtors. And there were about 20 communities that were listed that were not doing nearly as well. This is basically a maintenance budget while maintaining the same level of services. There are no new programs or initiatives contained in the budget. As part of the April 30, 2019, the village have 4 collective bargaining agreements expire. MAP 3, MAP 4, International Associated Firefighters 3005, and AFSCME Council 31. A 1-year labor contract extension for the firefighters is on tonight's agenda. The village has 342 full and part-time employees. Several road projects will be under construction this season, including a roundabout at King Road in Essington, the widening of Rodeo Road from Dalton Lane to King Road, and including a traffic signal at Dalton Lane, King Road extension from Rodeo Drive north to Astor Boulevard, and 41 lane miles of street resurfacing throughout the village. Two projects should be mentioned. The direct utility building will start in May, and preparations for the 2020 census will begin later in the year. Capital improvements, including replacing 13 squad cars, 10 public works vehicles, and pieces of equipment, are also included in the budget. One statement was made Saturday by Mr. Bone regarding the budget. Overall general fund revenues are only expected to increase by 0.7%, yet pension obligations continue to compound each year at 3%. You read about it statewide, you read about it in all the cities. The 3% compounded pension increases for public employees is a great benefit, but revenues are just not coming anywhere near that amount to sustain that continued pension amount. So how that plays out in Springfield, we'll just wait and see. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who has a comment regarding the proposed budget?
I do.
Good evening. My name is Joe Jamonko. I've got actually a couple questions. Most members of the public weren't privy to actually seeing the budget and the details, but as I understand it from what you just said, one of the items that's addressed is utilities, and I presume it's garbage, as I understand it. And I wonder if you can explain to residents what the difference is. I know that garbage previously was part of our tax bill, just lumped into the general fund, and that's now being pulled out, and that we're now going to be billed as well. So I'm wondering if you can explain, did residents get a reduction off their property taxes to account for that, or is that still there, plus the additional cost for the garbage?
There is no additional cost for the garbage. Garbage is the same amount as it was last year, and I believe the year before, other than a cost of living increase for fuel. Yes, garbage was taken off the tax bill at a public meeting. It was unanimously approved by this entire board. Garbage collection was put on the tax bill back in the 60s, and back in that day when houses were plus or minus $30,000, $40,000, all houses were about the same price. It was a very, very fair way to collect garbage. Since that time, our homes have changed considerably. We have homes now from $80,000 to $90,000, all the way up to over $1 million. And effectively, the way the garbage works, if it's on the tax bill, if you have $1 million home, you're paying 10 times the amount that somebody pays for $100,000. Now, admittedly, not very many $1 million homes are in Bolingbrook, but there's a lot of new ones. In fact, I believe you will live in one that's $300,000 to $400,000. So you're paying 3 to 4 times what the person in $100,000 homes. And in talking with the garbage collection people, in this particular case, Groot, the amount of garbage generated by homes is about the same, regardless of the value of the home. So in fairness, it was taken off, plus there was a continued amount of pressure on the garbage property tax bill, people complaining about how property taxes keep going up. Property taxes generally in most communities consist of police, fire, public works, not garbage. We were one of, two communities in the entire Chicago suburbs that had garbage in a tax bill. And you could probably suggest that if the IRS ever checked into it, it would probably not be a legal deduction. But because it was on the tax bill, people did deduct it off their property taxes. But in fairness, which was my particular interest in taking it off the tax bill, in fairness, it's going to be going to direct billing, and you'll be billed about $22 a month, which is what the contract calls for, 60 days per quarter.
So the garbage part has been taken out of the property tax bill altogether?
For the third time, yes.
Okay, well, you gave a long explanation, and I just needed a short answer, I think. And so people are now going to be billed, can you tell us how much they're going to be billed?
I said $22 a month, or it's about $64, $65, $70 a quarter.
Starting when?
Maybe end of May. The village will be divided into quarters. Each quarter, 1/4 of the homes in town will get a bill for 3 months. So by the end of May, the first quarter of homes will receive a bill.
Okay, and then the other question I had for you was, because I didn't catch it, the amount for the tax levy, is that going up for this next year?
Tax levy, I believe, is
The levy amount went up slightly. In the budget book, there is a sample tax bill. And if you want, I'd be happy to give you a copy. You can compare line item to line item.
but it's pretty close to being frozen.
Yeah, the rate got frozen for 2 years, and then 2 years before that, the dollar amount was frozen, so.
So for property taxes then are not increasing for the
The
next
rate
year?
is the same, but the EAV portion of the bill, as Mayor said, is going up. So if the EAV goes up, even if the rate stays the same, you pay slightly more.
So just
Home values are increasing.
just to clarify, EAV is estimated assessed value, equalized assessed value of the home, and so that goes up because home values go up.
All right, thank you for that
And new
explanation.
construction.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Seeing none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Watts. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
First motion receives a motion to approve the lowest bid from D Construction in the amount of $557,000. Oh, sorry, I forgot the tax receipts
Bills.
and bill approvals. Bill approval, bill listing A, $665,327.14. Bill listing B, $847,708.44, total of $1,503,035.58. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second?
Motion trustee Hoagland, second trustee Zarate. Questions? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Tax receipts, January 2019 state income tax, $440,953.32, corresponding to a year ago of $405,700.55, or an 8.69% increase. February 2019 sales tax, $2,222,253.44, corresponding to a year ago of $2,354,605.19, a 5.6% decrease. February 2019 motor fuel tax, $138,443.43, corresponding to a year ago of $142,541.76, or a 2.9% decrease. February 2019 state administrative fee is $17,390.20. And again, for those who don't know what that is, about a year ago, the Illinois General Assembly, in order to balance their budget, decided they wanted to collect, is it 2%?
Yes.
A 2% fee out of all sales tax distributions to balance their budget and make us find the money, which is classic state of Illinois operations. So this month is $17,390, about $20,000 a month. So that's money that we had gotten from Springfield through the legitimate 50-year plan of distributing sales taxes back to the communities, but they just made a unilateral decision they're going to keep some of it. So we got to find a way to supplement, make up for that. Questions? First motion. Motion to approve the, oh, wait a minute, did Felix, I just Felix, George, Felix. Mayor, accept the proclamation. Save us the stamp. Felix George is the township supervisor, was appointed 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago?
15th, yeah.
Doing a great job. It's certainly peace in the township. The newspaper headlines have gone away. He was a township trustee for years prior to that, and just a great guy. And anyway, he's here to accept that proclamation. And you want to say a few words about how beneficial it is?
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to thank the mayor and the village board for this proclamation, and I'd like to thank the postal workers for the food drive. They've been doing it for 25 years with DuPage Township, and DuPage Township thank everyone and hope everybody would find some way of donating on May 11th. Put your your canned goods outside, and the postal workers will collect it. And over the years, we started, I remember the first year we did about 5,000 pounds. We went up to 12,000 pounds, and we're up to 18,000 pounds of food. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, Billy. All right, again, back to the motion to approve the lowest bid from deconstruction, amount of $557,247.22 to add additional parking throughout the Fernwood subdivision. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Motion trustee Watts, second of trustee Zarate. This motion accepts the low bid from deconstruction to repave and add additional parking on Fernwood Drive in the Pine Meadow subdivision. The project includes streetlight relocation, adding 47 new parkway trees and creating 83 new parking spaces. 8 bid packets were sent out, 3 bids were received. The cost again is $552,328.48, which is $67,752.78 under the budgeted amount of $6.25. The project is being funded through CDBG, the Community Development Block Grant Funds. This is a fabulous project, I think. One of the things going back 30 years, 40 years, or even 50, when Bolingbrook started, Beacon Ridge got built, unincorporated, was subsequently annexed to Bolingbrook. Winston Village got built, Cherrywood got built, Fernwood got built, and there's others. They were all built in a day when the average home had maybe 1 car, maybe 2. Well, we live in 2019. Kids have grown up, and some houses have 3 and 4 cars. And it's a problem I know I've dealt with over the past 30-plus years. I'm sure they've heard it too. And I see a couple of heads bobbing. You know the problem. Where do you put these cars? And of course, people are people. You want to park as close to your house as you can get. And if it's a stretch to park somewhere legally, you just kind of take a chance. I'll park here. I may be blocking a guy's mailbox. I may be blocking a driveway. I may be in somebody's spot rather than my own. And then, of course, the car gets towed, and then the fun begins. Last year, we did a huge parking assist around Beacon Ridge. We extended the fire lane around the entire property, added parking to it, and I'm told it's significantly improved through, again, Community Development Block Grant Funds, which are designed for purposes like this. So we spent past year or so putting together this plan. It's now been bid. The construction will be done this fall. 83 new parking spots. Is that going to be enough? I don't know, but it's certainly got to be a huge assist in that particular area. We any questions?
Just a comment and further comment on the Community Development Block Grant Funds. That is not money that is, it's money funded from the federal government for specific uses within the village. So this doesn't come out of taxpayer funding
Well, comes out of taxpayer funding, just
at the
our-
federal level.
yeah.
So, but it is provided by the federal government and for use to help situations like this, so.
Any questions, comments? Great project, and I'd like to think the people in Fernwood are going to appreciate this, because it's going to make life easier for them when they come home at 10 o'clock at night, especially when it's raining, finding a place to park their car. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next motion to authorize emergency repair at sewage treatment plant number 1. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Hoagland, second trustee Zarate. This motion authorizes the Public Service Director, Lucas Rickle, and myself to execute a contract to repair and replace a 260-foot, 24-inch pressurized iron pipe for aeration at sewage treatment plant number 1. The existing pipe has failed. The cost shall not exceed, we've got, where we stand with the bids?
The low bid that, low quote that's come in was 98,000.
Initially, we were looking perhaps as much as $250,000. It's now down to 98,000. It is an emergency. It has to be replaced. If it's not, we have to take the sewage treatment plant out of service, which creates mega problems. Fortunately, we had a board meeting. We discovered this, Thursday or Friday?
Yeah.
We've been scurrying, getting quotes as quick as we can from established people. Aries Construction, I believe, is the low quote. They've done a lot of work in Bolingbrook, so we know the company. They're a quality company, but we have to get that replaced. We didn't have time to go through a 60-day bidding period on a sewage. Well, I think you can imagine. You can't shut down a sewage treatment plant. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next resolution approving a quotation from Zoll Medical Corporation for an auto pulse system. Is there a motion? Motion trustee Jaskowitz.
Second.
Second trustee Lawler. This resolution authorizes the purchase of an auto pulse system, which is a mechanism that compresses a patient's chest to facilitate blood flow to the heart and brain. The equipment will be assigned to Station 5 on the west end. There's currently one at Unit 1 at Station 2 on the east side of town. The purchase of Zoll Medical Corporation, amount of $14,200. Public Safety Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. I think they even got a demonstration tonight. You might wonder what it's for. Well, if you need it, you'll find out. It's anyway.
Good to have technology.
People, it was questioned a year or so ago at a meeting on how we spent $250,000 on an ambulance. Truth be known, an ambulance is probably fully brand-new chassis, cab, and equipped is closer to $350,000. And every day, some companies developing equipment like this, which people like to include because it's another life-saving technique. So these are medical centers on wheels, and that's why we'll have one on each side of town for quicker service to residents. Any comment? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next resolution approving a quotation for purchase of one case skid steer loader and one road hog line asphalt planer from McCann Industries here in Bolingbrook. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Watts, second trustee Lawler. This resolution approves the purchase of one case skid steer loader with road asphalt planer. This will replace a 1997 piece of equipment. The purchase is from McCann Industries, a Bolingbrook business on Frontage Road, east of 53. The cost of this skid steer is $49,816, and the cost of the planer is $21,600, total of $71,416. The Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. Normally, I know what a piece of equipment is when we buy it. I really have no clue what this does. So I'm taking the Public Works Department's word for it. It's critical to their operation. Is that fair? You want to talk about it? Oh, by the way, Matt Eastman's our planner. Lucas Rickelman is on vacation this week, and Matt's sitting in for him.
Wade can give you an explanation.
Oh, Wade, can you explain one of these things? Yeah. Oh, Ken?
Ken?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you used to do roads. You used to do the streets, didn't you? That was a road hog. Is there a better name?
That's like the brand name. Basically what it does, you've seen when they resurface streets, they grind the road and it goes into a truck with a conveyor belt. This is a smaller unit to do patch jobs. It's much faster than doing it by hand And like, it's gonna definitely improve how many we can do in a day.
Does it repair potholes?
Yes, it cuts around them and replaces the surface, so, because potholes, you really want to go outside the boundary to make sure water can't get in there, so this is a great piece of equipment for us.
I forgot, I'm glad you came up. Did anybody have questions? Okay,
Thanks for the explanation.
roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution approving a landscaping maintenance with various vendors for fiscal years 2020 through 2022. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Hoagland, second trustee Lawler. This resolution awards spring landscape contracts. The contracts include several seasonal landscape work at the town center here, 3 sewage treatment plants and lift stations, Jim Meyer Park, which is across the street, fire stations, retention ponds, road medians, parkways, et cetera, et cetera. The projects are for 3 years. The price is fixed for 3 years. We got to deal with each one of them. They're going to hold their prices the same for 3 years, which I think is pretty good because, you know, their expenses have to go up somewhat. There's an additional 1-year work being awarded to Hassert Landscaping for $21,300 and Siebert Landscaping for $25,195. The total contract awards are $834,547. Again, the Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. Questions? All Bolingbrook businesses. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution approving 2019 Community Development Block Grant CDBG applications and agreements with Will County. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Watts. The resolution approves the 2019 block grant program. Now, this is after what we approved earlier. We've been accumulating for 3 years in order to do that parking lot. These are new funds. The resolution approves the 2019 CDBG block grant program and with Will County to administer the program. The village's allocation will be approximately $332,329. The exact amount will be part of the federal fiscal budget beginning October 1st, 2019. We'll be notified at that time of the exact amount. The village will be funding 4 projects. A, housing, financial, and foreclosure counseling, $36,000, which we give to the Community Service Council. Emergency home repairs, which we handle through this building for people in need. C, emergency housing displacement assistance, $2,000. There's really not much call for that. D, infrastructure improvements, $192,864. And then an administrative fee to Will County of $67,465, or a total of $332,329. We pool our money with the Will County, and they charge administrative fee to each community based upon their population and funding amounts. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate.
Yes.
Trustee Lawler.
Yes.
Trustee Watts.
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland.
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution approving professional service agreement for village code codification services through the Municipal Code Corporation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustees Zarate, second trustee Lawler. Codification is a process of collecting and restating the law, ordinances, resolutions, and municipal code into a comprehensive and user-friendly codex format. The current format is read-only. Upon completion of this conversion, a user will be able to search terms and phrases. The cost is $22,950 from Unicode, which is the lowest of 3 quotes. Unicode is the largest provider of codification services in the state of Illinois, representing over 160 communities. This year's budget provided $15,000. The balance is contained in the 2019-20 budget. This will expedite FOIAs for all our FOIA lawyers that are submitting documents in terms of searching the codes. Will residents be able to search the code again? So residents can do their FOIAs all by themselves. When they want to find out if there's a law, they can put in a phrase, and this should search the entire document and pull up any ordinance or whatever we have with the wording similar to that.
Very helpful.
It's the world we live in. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Watts,
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland,
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next resolution approving general liability insurance coverage renewals for 2019-20. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second?
Motion trustee Watts, second trustee Zarate. This resolution approves the village insurance program for the next fiscal year. Alliant Mesro is the village's broker of record and solicited quotes on behalf of the village. The recommended carriers are basic underlying liability coverage, $2 to $4 million is provided by Safety National at a cost of $327,933. Excess liability, which is the first layer of additional $8 million coverage to Safety National for $138,384. Excess liability, which is the second layer of an additional $7 million to Scottsdale Insurance, $49,708. Cyber liability is from Lloyd's of London, $12,105. Property, casual, and marine policies, $131,239 from Chubb's Insurance. Always like that name, Chubb's. Crime insurance from Hanover, $2,110. Golf course package, all lines of coverage from Philadelphia Insurance, $152,902. Airport insurance, Ace Insurance, $11,779. Total cost, $826,160. The total cost is decreased by 5.47% from last year's premium, or decreased by $47,822 from last year. The village is self-insured for the first $100,000 of any claim. CCMSI is retained to provide claims administration on a per-claim basis, with the minimum fee being $19,000 a year. The Finance Committee has reviewed this and recommends acceptance. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Watts,
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland,
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
Next, we have planning, or ordinances. The first ordinance has an accompanying planning commission report. It's approval of a text amendment to the zoning ordinance, Article 4, Part 5, UD Utility District, Village of Bolingbrook applicant. Is there a motion to accept the planning commission report?
So moved.
Second?
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. Planning commission board has reviewed this, has made a recommendation to the board. The recommendation of the board is to approve it and place it on file. That is the motion that's on the floor. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now we have the accompanying ordinance, which takes that planning commission report and puts it in ordinance form. The ordinance is amending Chapter 29 in the Village of Bolingbrook Municipal Code zoning ordinance to create a new zoning district known as a utility district. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Motion trustee Jesuit, second trustee Zarate. This ordinance approves a text amendment change to Article 4, Part 5 of the zoning ordinance. The village has been negotiating with Commonwealth Edison about annexing their properties within the village that are not incorporated. As part of those negotiations, the utility company has asked the village to create a separate zoning district for all of their high-tension power or tower properties. These properties run through the village. After creation of utility district, it is anticipated that ComEd will apply to rezone their properties and file to annex a property that is unincorporated, which they did this week.
Yep.
They signed the annexation agreement this week, so they will be coming into Bolingbrook. The Plan Commission has reviewed and recommends approval. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Watts,
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland,
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
The next ordinance adopting the Bolingbrook annual budget, fiscal 2019-20 fiscal year. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second?
Motion trustee Watts, second trustee Lawler. Well, we had a public hearing. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate,
Yes.
Trustee Lawler,
Yes.
Trustee Watts,
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland,
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz.
Yes.
We have adopted a balanced budget. Too bad they can't do that in Springfield. Next ordinance amending the Bolingbrook annual budget for 2018-19, the budget year that's ending today, actually.
Yes.
By the way, today is trustee Morales' birthday, I understand.
Yeah.
So is that where he is, at a birthday party?
I think he's at a birthday party. We're going to sing to him, but I think
That's why he didn't come.
that's why he didn't show. We heard we might sing to him.
Did I get a motion in a second?
Yes, you did.
During the fiscal year, some budgetary items exceed the original budget amount. In order to balance the budget, the staff prepares an amended budget at the end of the year. We transfer amounts between line items and accounts so that they balance. This is part of a yearly closeout in preparation for the annual audit. This ordinance approves the interfund and inter-expense transfers. Total receipts and revenues from all funds during the fiscal year were $144,892. Total expenses, including a one-time capital expenditure, were $166,794,120. Questions?
No question, just a comment. Want to thank staff for all the hard work that they put in putting these budgets together each year. Sitting on committees, we see the efficiency that staff takes and the time that they take in ensuring that we are as cost-effective and efficient as possible with the residents' tax dollars. So just want to take this moment to say thank you for all your efforts.
Okay. The next order is approving a tentative agreement for the May 1, 2019 through April 30.
You need a vote.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. The next ordinance is approving a tentative agreement for the May 1, 2019 through April 30, 2020 contract between the International Association of Firefighters, Local 3005, and the Village of Bolingbrook. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Zarate. This ordinance is a global settlement with the International Association of Firefighters Local 3005. It resolves all pending labor and contract issues with the firefighters. The following issues are being resolved with this ordinance. The retirees insurance program issue currently pending in interest arbitration is resolved. The pending Public Safety Employee Benefit Act, referred to as PSEBA, grievance arbitration. The pending battalion chief upgrading grievance arbitration. The pending unfair labor practices before the Illinois Labor Board. A one-year extension of the collective bargaining agreement that expires April 30th or today. The union will be withdrawing from the existing employee retiree insurance program and creating their own retiree insurance benefit. The PSEBA settlement outlines the procedure for qualifying for benefits under the Act. The battalion chief agreement eliminates lieutenant upgrades and overtime associated with the upgrades. Battalion chiefs will cover all shifts. The existing collective bargaining agreement will be extended for 1 year. Wages will increase by 2.5%, and health insurance contributions will increase by 12.5%. The increases are effective May 1st, 2019. All of these settlements are tied together with the creation of a senior and master firefighter classification, similar to what the police contract contains. Based on longevity and education, a firefighter may qualify for an additional 2% senior or 3% master pay increase. The 1% of wages that the village is currently paying into the retiree insurance fund will be eliminated, and 1% will be added to the wages and will be deposited in the firefighters' new retiree insurance program. The ordinance also authorizes the creation of a voluntary employee beneficiary association plan for fire union members. The village is required to be the trust plan sponsor, but all management and funding responsibilities are assigned to the firefighters. The issues in this settlement have been negotiated over the past year, actually it started last summer, and resolve all current labor disputes with the firefighters. Questions?
Nope, it's good to have it done.
Yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes.
Yeah, this this is a separate resolution actually creating the plan.
There's no number.
19026.
Now, we have one more resolution to pass in relationship to that. Resolution 19R026 of the Corporation Authority relating to retirement healthcare funding plan. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion to trustee Zarate, second to trustee Lawler. In conjunction with the previous ordinance, the village agrees to sponsor the VIVA health insurance plan for the firefighters. The resolution approves the plan that they have selected. And again, all management and funding responsibilities are assigned to the firefighters. We're out of it. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. Our next ordinance is approving a grant of easement regarding relocation of emergency siren at 108 Lee Lane. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Hoagland. Corner of Lee Lane and 53, where there's new building under construction, that's due south of New Life Lutheran Church. There's a emergency siren that's been on that corner for 15 years, whatever. With the new building under construction, we've asked the owner to relocate that pole to the rear of the property. And this ordinance accepts an easement from the owner of the property at 108 Lee Lane, the corner of Lee Lane and 53. Currently, the emergency siren is in the right-of-way. The village wants it relocated. As part of the development agreement, the property has agreed to provide the easement. There is no cost for the easement. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. The next ordinance approving utility agreement between the Village of Bolingbrook and Chicago SMSA Limited Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless, subject to attorney and director of public services and development approval. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Lawler, second trustee Watts. This ordinance grants an easement to Verizon to enable them to run a natural gas line behind Town Center to the flagpole equipment shelter. The gas line is needed to run a backup generator in case of a power outage. Public Service Committee has reviewed and recommends approval. That's for the flagpole, 155th flagpole directly behind Village Hall on top of the hill, which I might add is flying very nicely. They finally got the problems corrected, so both flags are flying very proudly. They're backlit as we'd hoped, spotlights, and there's underneath that, in the back of the hill, there's a control room for Verizon, and this again is a generator to provide power in the event there's a power outage. It will not run unless power goes out. Questions? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. The next and last ordinance, special ordinance authorizing seating of private activity bonding authority. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion trustee Zarate, second trustee Watts. This ordinance transfers the village allocation of industrial revenue bonds to the Will Kankakee Regional Development Authority. Each year, the state allocates to communities the ability to authorize industrial revenue bonds on a per capita basis. The village's allocation is $7,896,015. If this allocation is not obligated by May 1, the amount goes back to the state. The village has had no request for its allocation. By transferring the allocation to the Will Kankakee Regional Development Authority, it stays in the region. By statute, they can use the allocation until December 31st, 2019. If a Bolingbrook business requests the issuance of industrial revenue bonds, they will still have access to that $7 million fund. We're just giving it to the bigger pool to attract people to this region. Questions? We've done this
Many years.
many years. Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Zarate?
Yes.
Trustee Lawler?
Yes.
Trustee Watts?
Yes.
Trustee Hoagland?
Yes.
Trustee Jaskowitz?
Yes. Next, question of the audience or the press. What?
It's mostly just a comment, and whew, You guys got through that quick. Okay,
We're
so.
prepared. We do our
You
homework.
were definitely prepared. So, my name is Patty Drugan. I'm a resident of Bolingbrook. I came in here today mostly to make some comments. There was some horrible behavior that happened about 3-4 days ago to our Muslim community, to our black community, to the gay, the transgender, gay, lesbian, bisexual community, as well as to our Jewish community. A person or persons, it's still under investigation right now, attacked one of our Muslim families' homes. They threw a brick through their children's window. Then they proceeded to spray paint the word gay, the N-word, a Jewish swastika, and they made comments about the gay community. We've been doing a little bit going back and forth. This is not a political thing. This is a community thing. We should all be coming together for our entire community. I want to let that family know how sorry I am for what happened, and I hope that we can all come together as a community for those communities that were affected by what this foul person or persons did to this family. My understanding is that this person may have been caught. I hope and I pray that they have been caught, or persons. And again, I know that there's still an investigation going on, but I'm absolutely disgusted with some of the people in this town, and thank God it's a small portion of this community. I just want to let you know that there are more of us here that are not going to tolerate and allow you to do the things that you did to that family or the rest of our families in this community. And I do want to thank you for letting me come up and talk. I appreciate you for allowing me to do this, and I am certain that all of the board, hopefully we all stand together on this and taking care of our entire community. I'm very sickened by what happened. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Having experienced that same thing myself a year or so ago, having my house trashed, including the swastika and so forth, I fully appreciate and find it disgusting what happened. It is under thorough investigation. It is a little complicated, and I asked Director Temple to give us a status if he would.
Sure.
Good evening, everyone. Ken Temple, Director of Public Safety, so over the Police Department. Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Drugan, thank you. On Saturday night, around 2:30 in the morning, we received a call of somebody who had a brick thrown through their window. The homeowner was sleeping upstairs. His son, who's 21 years old, was sleeping downstairs. Brick came through his window, ran upstairs, said, "Hey, Dad, somebody just threw the brick through the window." They go outside, and there's red graffiti spray painted outside the house. And there's racial epithets, and there's a swastika, and right above the son's bedroom where he was sleeping, there was some spray paint. And there's a photo floating around on Facebook, so it's not like I would be showing you something that's not already out there, but I have a before photo. And so as soon as this came into our office, we got on it. We had officers respond. They started to investigate. We also have, the mayor and board know this, but most people out there don't. We have what we call like a graffiti buster machine. So it's kind of like a sandblaster with water and some other grit, and Public Works gets out there right away, and they took it, and then they took care of the graffiti off the resident's house after we collected our evidence and everything else. And it's not only available here, but also businesses in town. We do it all the time for folks. And we started the investigation. So there has not been an arrest made yet. We've been speaking constantly with the homeowner, who is also going to speak to his son, so eventually they're going to come in and sit down with us also. But as I mentioned before, to some of the trustees, that this is one of those things that people don't keep quiet about. You know, they either brag or make a snide comment out there. So we've been keeping an eye on Facebook and other areas and venues, and actually that's how the mayor's offender got caught herself. She posted on Instagram, and a friend saw it and then came into the station and reported to us. So if anyone out there has anything at all, you can absolutely remain anonymous. We will follow up on it. But this has been the only incident so far, and along with that, we've been in contact with our Muslim community. Ramadan is coming up, so we're increasing our patrols out at the school and the mosques for their holy period. And if folks want to grab me afterwards, I'd be more than happy to talk about you within, discretion. I still have to protect the privacy of our resident and everything else. But we are on it, but there has not been an arrest made, and we're slowly moving forward on this. So any help we can get, we greatly appreciate.
It is complicated. It's like any story, there's more to it. We'll report as we get it. And I am sorry this happened as anybody. I spend my life trying to put Bolingbrook in the best light, and when it's one person out of 76,000 people, and I'm assuming it's one, it's just like Mother May I, 100 steps forward and 1,000 backwards and it's like to happen. I can't describe to you when I came out of my house and saw when my house had been trashed, the front of the house, the sidewalk, the paint, the garage door, and it cost $4,000 to clean it up. How much that disgusted me and how much it hurt. It scared my wife, the fact that somebody was in our house doing that. So we don't like any of this, and we will prosecute this to the fullest when we catch the perpetrator. And my feeling is we will. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you.
Trustee comment report. Trustee Zarate.
Thank you, Mayor. Community story time. Bolingbrook Historic Museum at 444 East Briarcliff Road will be on Friday, May 10th, starting at 9:30 to 10:30. Bring a kid to enjoy a great time at the museum. Ages 2 to 6 must be with an adult. Limited seating. Also, Mother's Day brunch, elaborate champagne brunch, Sunday, May 12th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Reagan Ballroom. Adults, $49, members, $44.95, children, $27.95, members, $22.95. 4 to 12 years old, children 3 and under, complimentary. For reservations, please call Jill Maldonado at 630-771-9400. And I also would like to thank, we had a couple events this weekend, and Home Depot is so generous every year. They have a tent they set up, and they hand out free trees, and they always give back to the community, so it's really nice. It's a nice event, and they have free hot dogs. I'd like to thank Home Depot, and also I'd like to thank, I went to the spring concert on Sunday, and it was very uplifting. It's a good event to attend, but I'm also happy. I sit on the board for H2O, and H2O was there, and it was very nice that everybody was so generous. They helped pay for all the kids to go to camp this year, so I'd like to congratulate Ryan and his team. They do a wonderful job, and I know a lot of people have a lot to say about Bolingbrook, but one thing we are is the people that live in this community, they give back, and that's the most important thing. And I'd like to say, thank you for the organizations who support us. Thank you.
Just one little correction. ASME, their public works employees donated their time, correct?
Oh, yes.
On Saturday to hand out these trees,
Yeah.
where do we get the trees?
Yeah.
Through a purchasing program for such an event like this.
So those trees came from the village, and the ASME employees volunteered their time.
Oh, sorry about that. I forgot that.
And I believe Saratoga Foods donated to the hot dogs, didn't they?
That's what I heard.
Oh,
Anyway, Trustee Lawler.
You know,
Was that it?
yes.
Okay.
So, in tough times, community comes together. we've got a number of very positive organizations in town and individuals who help each other out. And Maria was referencing the Heart Haven Outreach. They're teaming up with another organization, Unidos, and Comcast Cares Day. Comcast, our cable provider, comes out in the community and brings volunteers from their company, and you have an opportunity to team up with them and go out and do service projects throughout the community. And that's this Saturday of May 4th. It starts at 8:30 in the morning, goes to 4:30 in the afternoon over at the community center across the pond here behind Village Hall over in Canterbury Lane. And it's a good way to contribute to the community and feel good about what's going on and get to know your fellow neighbors who are doing the same and are service-minded in making the community a better place. This summer, recent weeks, there's been announcements about the weather's getting warmer, although snow doesn't help. If we can get rid of the snow, we'll be even much happier. But on a happy summer note, preparation, June 5th starts the Performing Arts Center concert series on Wednesday nights, and then the Promenade is doing their concerts on Thursday nights. The first 6 concerts are sponsored by the Bolingbrook Park District, great partnership with the village and Amita Health Adventist Medical Center. They fund and present those bands. And then the remainder of the schedule on Wednesday nights is funded by the village, and that goes through August 28th. I'm not going to read through the list, but I will be reminding you.
It's on the webpage.
It's on the webpage.
It was read at the last meeting.
So that's about it.
Okay. Trustee Watts. Wait, I gotta stop. I just got a text. My light, phone flashes up and I get a light. It's a classic picture. My granddaughter Samantha Joy, who lives in the suburb of San Diego, California, is having dinner, sitting at her table, and on the big screen TV is this village board meeting. She's watching through a streaming video. I'm on the camera. It said, Papa's #1 fan, dinner time entertainment. That is a classic. Sorry, that was too good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
we're
good one.
preparing-
It's seen around the world. So
Preparing the next generation of civil servants there. Great story, Mayor. I'd like to start with an exciting announcement. The Bolingbrook STEM Association is having their second annual Family STEM Night Extravaganza. That's going to be Saturday, May 18th from 3:30 to 6 p.m. at the BRAC, the Bolingbrook Recreational Aquatic Center. Bolingbrook STEM is all about making science, technology, engineering, and math fun for students. There'll be STEM exhibits, hands-on activities, DJs, raffle prizes, and more. So make sure you let every student and young person that you know about this event and ensure they are there. Next, we have the Community Mobile Pantry. That's hosted by the New Hope Baptist Church, which is located at 509 East Briarcliff. The next food pantry giveaway is going to be May 6th. That's at 4 o'clock. This takes place on the first Monday of each month. I volunteered there. It is a warm and friendly atmosphere for those that are in need of food. Top-notch service is extended by New Hope Baptist Church. So please let anyone know that could use those services. Coffee with the Chiefs. Director Ken Teppel and the leadership team of the police and fire departments are welcoming you and excited to let you know that you can come out on May 7th to Charlie's, one of my favorite restaurants in town, at 130 Cloud International Parkway. The time on that, Chief, is 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And this takes place every first Tuesday of the month. So put that on your calendar. Week of the Young Child, Bolingbrook Park District. This takes place from April 28th to May 3rd. So follow the calendar at the Bolingbrook Park District website. Take the children out. The Bolingbrook STEM Association will actually be there on tomorrow as they're having a STEAM event at the Anarino Center. We have DePage Township is hosting, and I like this name, Super Senior Day and Resource Fair. That's Wednesday, May 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Levy Center. You could have your blood pressure checked, and there will be plenty of vendors there. Township always puts on great events. As it relates to that unfortunate incident, I'd like to thank Patty Drugan and those that have taken the opportunity to speak up against that unfortunate act of violence and really vandalism. And so, Director Teppel, we appreciate the update, and I have all the confidence in the world that our Bolingbrook Police Department will catch the suspect. They always do. Bolingbrook is better than that. Bolingbrook, as we know it, is a warm and friendly atmosphere, and we do not like when individuals take it upon themselves to put a blemish on our wonderful community. So we have to stand up against it as we're doing, and we just ask that if anyone knows anything about it, please contact the Bolingbrook Police Department. Thank you.
Good evening. Bolingbrook Garden Club plant sale for 2019 is Saturday, May 18th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's at the Bolingbrook Performing Arts Center on the stage. Annuals, herbs, perennials, and vegetables from our garden to yours. Credit cards, cash, or check. Checks are preferred. And again, that's Saturday, May 18th from 9 to 3 p.m. And also, May 18th, we from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Pet Days, featuring all things pet products, services, and more. The Promenade Bolingbrook, the Pet Parade at the Bolingbrook Promenade. For additional information, please call 630-296-8350. And the parade is from 3 until 4 o'clock. I know there's some voting going online for some of those very interesting pups to be the Grand Marshal. Yes, yes. So you could go online on Facebook and vote for your favorite puppy. They're so cute. That's all I have. Thank you.
I'll keep mine short. I'm losing my voice, as you could tell, with my yes votes. My allergies are really, really acting up bad here. But I want to reiterate what Patty Drugan said, what the mayor said. We cannot accept and we must condemn these types of actions that take place in our community. Excuse me. And it's getting worse, not better. We got notice today that someone sent a letter to the legislature in Springfield saying that they want to go about and kill anybody that's going to draw down on their pension plan so they don't have to pay out the money and not have to worry about that as debt. You can't make that stuff up. You know, hate is growing in this nation, and it's got to be put to an end. Social media doesn't help. All the different news channels don't help. You could listen to the news on all the different channels, CNN, Fox, ABC, NBC, and it'll be the same story. But if individuals listen to them, they would think they're listening to different stories just on how they, change the meaning and the perception of the story. There's so much that goes on in this country that we let people get away with as well, and I think that's a downfall. A perfect example is the measles outbreak. Vaccinations were required by people all the time to go to school. And because of false information spread on social media about autism and stuff like that, schools started giving leeway, and now you have a big break of measles in this country again. As a Rotarian, and Roger was a Rotarian, and Rosa's a Rotarian, for 30 plus years we worked on eliminating polio in the world. And we've done that. But now, because people are getting lackadaisical and don't care, and we're allowing that to happen, these kinds of things keep going on. And if we allow hate to continue like we're doing, it's going to get worse, not better. Okay? That's all I have to say.
Jim also was a Rotarian for a very long time. But you don't have to look at the news, national or state news. You can look at the trash that some people post on local Facebook pages, which is just as hateful and disgusting and divisive. So I'd like to see that knocked off. Before we have a motion to adjourn, I'd like to tell Samantha, dinner's over. It's time for your bath, go to bed. It's 5 after 7 in San Diego. And Papa says goodnight. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We stand adjourned.